I'm so excited to be here?
Why?
Because when this airs, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna watch my episode.
You'd be like, that's me.
Yeah.
As a fan of the podcast.
I just love looking at myself and listening to myself talk. And because I'm a fan of the podcast, but also because I'm on it.
Such an actor.
Of course. You gotta watch what you've done.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
And it's me, so I don't have to watch my performance and be like, oh, that was cringy. I wish they didn't use that take. Like, that won't happen.
It's just you. I mean, you'll still find one or two moments where you're like, oh, that was cringy. I wish they hadn't used that. It happens to me every week.
Every day of my life.
Too. Yeah.
Every day I'm like, why did I say that? Why did I, like 10 seconds ago before we started filming? Why did I say that? Why did I think that was appropriate?
Sometimes I watch the podcast and I'm like, am I listening right now?
Am I staring at myself?
Yeah.
Nice shirt.
Oh, thank you. Purchase College, Conservatory
I've heard good
of
things
Theater
about that
Arts.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice while I was there. Had a good time. Got in, got out.
Yeah.
It was
Bing, bang, boom.
You know what our motto is from that school?
What?
Think
Loved
wide open.
by many, hated by plenty.
Wow.
I actually really like that. That hit a little close to home. Anyway, hi everybody. Welcome to the Packcast. As per usual, I am your host, Logan and Jacob.
Hey, I'm Jacob Wade.
Hi, I'm Suzanna Scorcia.
Our special guest for this week. We are so excited to have you.
I'm excited. You know, I practiced that part.
Oh my gosh.
Because
just, like,
I watched,
no,
into the computer, because the thing is that my last name is pronounced differently by everybody in my family. And I haven't decided if I want it to say Scorcia, Scorcia, or Scorcia. And I was going to do Scorcia and I chickened out and I did the other one.
Oof.
So where do the different pronunciations come from? Who says what and why?
My mom says...
Why can't we agree here?
My mom says Scorcia because her name is Nancy, and she thought Nancy Scorcia was too many C's in it. So she says Scorcia.
So she changed it.
Yeah, she really just added her own thing. She got
was
married
like,
and she was like,
it's
this whole
my
name
last
thing.
name now.
Yeah. And then the family did Scorcia because that's just like phonetically. And then CI in Italian is cha. So my dad really wanted us to say Scorcia, but there's something more pretentious than going to elementary school and being like, it's Scorcia.
Hi, my name is Suzanna Scorcia.
Suzanna Scorcia, write it down.
Aw.
Phonetically. Yeah. But it sounds nice.
It does. Know? It sounds like an actor name. It
does. I should do that for my auditions. I should be pretentious. Hi, I'm Suzanna Scorcia, and I'm reading for Leanne. I don't know.
So aside from your pretentiousness, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the way that you know us? I know you've done this with the interview that we did a while ago, which everyone should go watch. But we gotta catch the folks up if they haven't seen us yet.
How do I know you guys? How do I know you guys?
How did we meet?
That's a solid way to start this.
One day we were strangers and then we knew each other.
Yeah, but I actually, to be honest, I know how I met Logan because you were in my major and I had class with you and I was just like, I hate this guy. And then we started talking.
Yeah,
and I was
you
like,
were.
I think that's everyone's first impression. And then they meet Logan and they're like,
oh, he's not actually a pretentious douchebag. Got it.
I don't know if it was pretentious, more so as just, I think I was the place in my life where somebody was more experienced than I was in the acting and film field, and they were just doing their work proudly. I was just like, ugh, he's so cocky. When you were really just doing your work proudly. So at the time I was like, oh my God, I get it. You've been in stuff before. Like, shut up. But no, that's on me. That's not on you. Be proud.
And the funniest thing is the moment that Susanna's talking about, we were shooting a like mock scene for class, and like everyone had to direct, everyone had to DP. We like all kept switching parts. Mm-hmm. When it came to time for me to direct, everyone had to do 2 shots, and I didn't feel like doing 2 shots because I was lazy. And I was actually like, I think I can get both of these shots in one take. Rather than having to do 2, if you just like pan up with him, we can get both shots in one go. Yeah. And Susanna thought that me explaining this shot and doing
you want to know why? You be quiet.
You're
leaving something out. His cap was on backwards, and he goes over to Dean, the professor, and put his arm over Dean's shoulder like they're pals. Like this is his vision. I'm like, this. Can I curse on here?
Honestly,
Yeah.
This motherfucker, who the hell does he think he is?
Jacob has seen me do that exact motion to like every actor we've worked with. It's just the like, I'm gonna just explain how I see this right now. Move.
I was like, who? And then I went up, all I had to do was slate. And I was just like, election scene two. 1 second. And I like dropped it and I picked it up and like, scene 2, take 1, apple. And I'm like thinking of A words, you know? Ugh.
Good times.
I was not good. I was not good. And then Jacob, I don't know how I met you. I don't know. I have no idea.
We met while we were drunk, and it was at a party.
That is actually the official way that I first met Suzanna, but she doesn't remember that story, so.
No, I officially thought I met you at the oh my God, what was the name of that store on campus?
The Moore store? No, you met me before that at a party. But we did meet at the Moore store.
I apologize. I guess you guys don't really leave lasting impressions. That's not really on me.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
Yeah, you forgot me the second time.
That can't be true because I knew you around campus.
Yeah, well, maybe while you were drunk, you forgot. And
was this our senior year?
Interesting.
Okay, well, I'm just
that's
that
when we
rude.
like first officially met, I think.
I'm just that rude when I'm drunk because I knew of you my sophomore year. So I definitely was just like, I've never heard of you. Nice to meet you.
Who are you?
Oh yeah, I've never seen you before. Your name is what?
Pleasure.
Yeah, we did. Me and Suzanna did some classes together in college, and then I brought her in to do some readings with Blackwolves of a couple things that we were working on. And and then Tucci and Jones we worked together on for a day.
Oh yeah, I had a really big part in that.
Yeah, huge
lot of collaborative efforts.
Yep.
And I think you helped me with an audition once.
Probably.
Maybe.
That
I don't remember.
Right.
I don't know. I bounced a lot of ideas off of you, and then Logan sent me one of his scripts and asked for notes, and I sent back 9 pages.
It's great.
That's fantastic.
And
what a friend.
Was that one of my scripts, or was that a script that I was helping a friend with?
I don't remember because you sent me a different script like the next day, and I did the exact same thing. And that script was 2 pages long and did not deserve 9 pages of notes. I was just like, there should be a period here. This is not how the formatting of a script works. I think it would make more sense if the character says this. The audacity. That's what I had.
No, I love it. I love getting like intricate notes from people. It's actually really helpful.
It's constructive.
I like being a script analyzer.
Script doctor?
Like script analyst.
Analyst. I couldn't think of what to say, and I was thinking analyster.
Analyster? Nice.
It sounds special.
Yeah. But yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, you might be a good supervisor, script supervisor. That's a real job.
What is that job? Yeah, because I worked with somebody who was script supervisor before, and is that like in a writer's room? They're like
on set, essentially, it's just the person that keeps an eye on the script to make sure all the lines are said correctly and all the blocking is like executed properly.
Oh, I could do that.
But like, if I tip my cap when I say like hello, that in every take, I'm going to tip my hat when I say hello.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could probably do that.
Yeah, it's just continuity person, essentially.
It's hard to make a movie, no doubt, and I will never, ever want to belittle any mistakes that are made during the production process. But when I see a continuity error, I'm like, there was less iced tea in that cup in the last take. Susanna, they filmed that differently.
This happened to me on Fire Island. I'm not going to tell the story.
No, you can't. You can't.
I can't, but
Call
this happened to me. I'll tell you after this. Oh,
oh my God, I'm so curious. I'm so curious.
Oh boy. That was a great experience though.
That was a great experience.
Yeah, it was such a great experience.
Yeah, you guys like tag teamed on that movie.
I was Jacob number 2. They didn't even change the sign on my door. It still said Jacob. And then I crossed it out and wrote my name. And I came back and somebody crossed out my name and wrote Jacob.
Loyal.
I think it was Mike.
Yeah,
I think it was. Either that or Jeremy.
He's a little prankster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so fun. And I felt so like adventurous. I was like, yeah, I'm going to an island for like 2 weeks on like a day's notice. And then I got there.
So spontaneous.
I felt really spontaneous, you know? But then I got there and I felt so small, like so
Aw.
tiny. Just
Well,
like,
it was a relatively small crew.
I just felt more so like, I don't want to be the person that spills the coffee everywhere and embarrasses myself.
I did that.
I
I
know.
did that. Yeah.
I know.
I heard about that story.
Yeah.
You
Well,
wanna tell that story, Jacob? That's kind of a funny one.
that is a funny one. I don't mind telling that story.
Yeah, it's
'cause
funny in
I
hindsight.
fucked up.
In retrospect.
But you fucked up in a way that didn't like destroy anything or ruin a day. Like it's a fucked up that like 6 hours later you look back on and you're like, oh, that was funny.
Yeah. So it was like, it's basically, it's call time at the location. And
7 a.m., 8 a.m.
It's like
Early.
7 a.m., maybe 8 a.m. I think it was 7 though. And we are, it's just my job to bring the director some coffee. And it's like my second day on set, and the director is not an intimidating man, but in stature, he's impressive.
He's quite tall.
Yes. And so,
Yeah, he's tall.
well, he's tall, handsome, and like beefy.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that you use the word beefy.
Strong. Like he's a strong man. Anyway, I wasn't intimidated by him, but like a little starstruck because he looks like a model. Well, he is a model.
I
Anyway.
know. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you know, just
know what you're
okay.
saying.
And it's just my job to bring him coffee. So I've got the coffee in my hand, and he's at the top of the stairs. And on my way up the stairs, I trip, and the coffee just spills on the floor, all over the floor, splashes. I've got to clean it up before anyone notices.
Ugh.
I'm sweating
Yeah.
because, well, it's hot, but also nervous as hell, and I am like panicking. It went fine. I got him a new coffee. Said
Was it
thanks.
hot? Did it land near him? Like, did it burn him? or
Yeah,
anything?
no, he never saw it. He was like
Moving on.
He was working on the roof.
Oh, he didn't
And
even
I-
see it. I'm going to tell you. So I dropped something at work today, and there's just that moment where you have to bend down to pick up the very loud thing that just hit the floor, and everyone's
Yep.
staring at you. And it is such an intimidating moment of weakness.
Oh,
You just want to stand there and like look into the camera like Jim and just be like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then it's
Mhm.
just like this very like feeling.
Yeah, dropping shit is just deflating.
It's so deflating. That's the perfect word for it. And then just to do it, I mean, that's my least favorite thing about being a PA. The most intimidating thing you can ask me to do is get your food or a beverage, because you
Really?
can mess it up. Like if you need me to run somewhere and pick up like a costume that they left somewhere, sure. But if you ask me to get you something specifically, like go buy this thing and bring it back here before the next take, and I have to like go and find the exact brand, well, not the next take, but you know, like go to a store and find this prop, like sweat. That's so intimidating. Go and get this person's lunch. Like, what if I don't know how they take their coffee? They had a thing. They liked 2 pumps of sugar out of the sugar machine.
So specific.
And they were
every
like
time.
2 pumps of sugar. But if you hold the thing down,
More
It-
sugar comes out.
it's like a whole pump, but it was so much. So I did it and I stopped and only half came out. And so I was like, should I do
Is
one
that
and a
half
half?
a pump? Did I do
Or
2
should I-
pumps?
And it just gave me so much anxiety. And then I brought it to the person that the coffee was for. And I'm just like watching them drink it, being like, what if they make a face? Like, what if they hate it? Like the anxiety I get from delivering food and drinks, I don't like it.
Yep.
I always had Jeremy get the coffee. I had to get it sometimes, but I didn't like it.
No, that's fair. That is so fair.
Yeah. Or even like the Starbucks runs where they're like, just bring back a bunch of food. Like randomly, it doesn't matter, bring back anything. I'm like, what do they want? Do they want like cookies and brownies, or do they want like sandwiches and like those paninis? Like, what do I
I
get?
feel like I'm generally good at that kind of thing because like I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna surprise them. I'm gonna get a bunch of cool stuff that they're all gonna love, and like I just go all out.
Jacob
I'm like,
doesn't
"Oh, I
have
wanted to do-"
anxiety.
See, I love that, Jacob, that you do that. But like as a producer, there is no world in which I would ever send someone to get something and not be like, I need you to bring me back 10 cappuccinos, 10 black coffee. Like I would give you the like, this is what you need to get.
Oh, but who's got the time? They're doing like this big movie, and they're just like, everybody is hungry. I have a million things to do. You're just standing here.
It's like
You're
are
a PA.
crafty.
Go. Yeah, go. Yes, I was crafty. On this one day, we left the island and we're shooting on the other side. And somebody's
you
car,
crossed the water.
yeah, somebody's car was parked right where we were. And they were like, go take their car, go to a Starbucks in town and bring back a bunch of food. And I was just like, it was my first day. And I was like so nervous, and it's freezing outside and I'm sweating. I'm like, ugh, gross. And I'm like sweating from anxiety. Luckily, somebody went and did it for me, but they didn't make the boat back with us. They went and took the next one, which isn't a big deal. But my first day, I would have been so nervous, so panicked, driving somebody else's car. They came back with 2 giant bags of like pastry, like Starbucks foods that we actually didn't finish and use for the next 2 days. But I would have gotten like 4 cookies.
Speaking of making things, because we've been talking a lot about you guys being on sets, we're going to be on set for something within like a month, 2 months. Because we have partnered with Suzanna on a new little web series project. So Suzanna, we'd love to hear a little bit about this new project. Just give us a little taste, give us a little seasoning, a little salt bay up in here about your web series.
This is so cool. This
I know, I'm so
cool.
excited.
Oh, see, this is what I should have rehearsed. I don't know what to say. I wrote a 6-episode web series, like 10 to 15-minute long episodes. It's called Rekindling. And the show is basically about a couple. You know what? I'm going to start some other way.
Okay.
I have a theory, me personally, that a couple that breaks up and gets back together, no matter how many years or months have gone between the two, relationships, when they get back together, they will break up for the same reasons they broke up the first time. I have seen it happen to so many people that I went to school with, so many people that I was friends with. They dated, she cheated, they broke up, they got back together, she cheated again. They dated, he said, I just don't want to be in a relationship. They broke up, they got back together, he said the same thing. I just don't want to be
in a relationship, yeah.
It happens so much. So basically, I wrote a web series that is about this premise of a couple knowing that this theory exists, and they go into their relationship and they're just like, we're going to beat the odds. And you just see how their relationship,
progresses.
And it's I feel like it's very realistic and has some relatable perspectives that aren't discussed in a lot of other romance movies or web series, in my opinion, that I've seen. A lot of movies and content exists out there, but like that. Yeah, did I miss anything? Should I say more?
Maybe more about like the tone of the show?
Yeah.
Sure.
Half of the show is like mockumentary like style, or not even mockumentary, like legitimate documentary where they sit in front of a camera and they talk because they're supposed to be like interviewed and studied.
Yep.
Everything else is just us as an audience witnessing their relationship and witnessing the pros and cons and how much they've grown up and like how fights don't seem to change and how arguments are timeless and all of it. It's 2 characters that exist in their 20s, in their early 20s, which is at a time in your life when you're just leaving college, and like if you thought that you went away to college and you didn't know what you were supposed to do while you were there, this is the big like, oh, I don't know what to do now part when you come home. And you're like, oh, like, I moved out. That's a big deal. Oh, I have this job. It's got to be a big, like, 9-to-5 job. No, like, you can, be a bartender, and that's a perfect way to live. And those things that happen to you when you're in your early 20s.
Sure.
Lovely.
Next time I'll write a little, when you get to take a test in college and they let you bring notes and you're allowed to have an index card with a bunch of bullets.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
It's interesting. Suzanna came to me with this idea 6 months ago, maybe? It was a while.
Really?
We've been talking about this for a bit.
Wow, that's so cool. I get to say that I brought this to you 6 months ago.
Yeah, wow.
That was like even before the series got sent to like all of Blackwolves. This was when Suzanna came to me and was like, I want to write a web series about a couple. And I was like, okay. And she was like, that's what I got. And I was like, oh. So do it.
Did I do that? That's so funny.
You were just,
well,
you did what you always do when you come to me with an idea, which is, I have an idea, I don't know what to make of it. And I typically just go, well, why don't you just start and see where it goes? And you did. And you wrote 6 episodes of a really great web series and then brought it back to me. And I showed it to Jacob and Jeremy and they loved it.
Right. You know what it is that I don't know anything about web series. And I thought web series are like 3 to 4 episodes long. Not episodes, 3 to 4 minutes long.
They can be.
And I was just like, well, it's not a web series because it's too long. And Logan, you're like, it could be a web series. Who says it can't? Who did you speak to that said it can't be a web series?
Who lied to you?
I didn't know. And the funny thing is that like, I think I had this idea and I just went, this is how I do my screenwriting. I open up a notebook or like a Google Docs and I bullet everything that I want to happen in that order. And I won't let myself go to bed until I get to the end.
Nice.
Wow.
It's like all of my thoughts are coming in. And then I have a bullet later and then I'll add a bullet before, be like, this needs to happen first so this can happen. And I did that for the only 6 episodes. I did that all in one night. Like I started at 3 a.m., ended at 7 because I was having a sleeping problem. I was like, this is what's going to happen in all of the episodes.
Here's what we're done.
Obviously a ton of that has changed, but like the content, but like that is how I wrote it. Makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
it's cool getting to kind of watch this whole thing come to life.
Yeah.
To get to like have the opportunity to direct it is exciting.
Exciting.
That was also something for a little while, was that we talked about just like, is there anybody else that we can see directing this? And we threw a couple names out between the two of us, but at the end of the day, it just ended up being like, me and you kind of want to make this thing together. So let's me and you make this thing together.
I think just at a certain point when you've discussed it so in depth with somebody else, like another creator, because I bounced so many ideas off of you. There were other directors that I was thinking of, but like it just makes sense to be like, you already understand everything that I'm saying because we've already discussed it so thoroughly. So like we can easily, and I don't know, when you are on a set, usually is the screenwriter there? No, their script is sold to a director.
Can be.
They can be?
Yeah, it depends on the project.
I guess everything it's all circumstantial, but like I'm curious if you can be on a set and the director says one thing and the screenwriter is like, actually I wrote it to like sound like this. Like I don't know if you can do that. It's the director's movie at that point.
It all depends on the dynamic between the writer and the director. At least based on what I've seen. It's very like, some writers and directors can work that way with like, this is actually how I intended it. And some directors, it's like, well, too bad. This is my thing now and we're going to do it my way.
Yeah. Like if you go to Black Widow, let's say, like if you're going to that movie, do you listen to the writer? Do you listen to the director? Or do you listen to Kevin Feige?
Kevin Feige.
Like, like what do you do?
On something like that, Kevin Feige. On anything else, the director. That's at least how I would look at it. At the end of the day, the director is the most powerful person on set.
What a cool man Kevin Feige is. Can we just think about that for a second?
I want to see Black Widow so bad.
I'm seeing it tonight.
Comes out this week.
I'm so excited.
Marvel really doing good things.
I have no idea what it is about. Like I haven't even looked up the general premise. I know you wrote it. I didn't read it. Personally, I wanted the movie to be not an origin story, but I wanted it to be about, I know it takes place between 2 movies. I wanted it to be like something that happened with her in Budapest, like way back when, or like I wanted her story to be her villain side. That's what I wanted to see. Like, let's see Black Widow as a villain, like a villain movie. Villain movies are so good.
And they're so in right now.
Yeah. They're so in.
Before we die, I know Marvel is going to take over this entire podcast because consistently when we get to something that like 2 or more members of the podcast can geek out about, it just takes over. So I'm just going to say, keep an eye out for more info about Rekindling. We're going to be making announcements soon about certain things. We're working on it soon. There's going to be behind the scenes. All the same kind of general shtick that I said about Ode to Loneliness last week is happening with Rekindling. So we're super excited to be working on this with you, Suzanna.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
An absolute pleasure.
I'm so excited. I've never done this before. Like, I've never made something that I wrote. And I know you both have. Jacob, you have, right? I purchased it.
I don't write things.
Jacob's not
you
a
weren't a screenwriter. And I said that already. You weren't in my major.
Nah.
But you know what? You could.
If I really wanted to, I could.
Yeah. You know what we should do, Jacob? We should do an acoustic cover together.
We should.
We could harmonize probably really well.
I bet we could.
Yeah.
Do you have any songs that you want to sing?
Planning for the next season of acoustic covers right here on the podcast.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you know, like, She Will Be Loved? That's like a fun song to harmonize
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song. And I already know the harmony.
My voice is a little lower than Adam Levine's, but
So we'll lower it. We'll just lower the if you
whole
are
thing.
capable, if you are capable of taking a song and being like, I want to play it in this key, or I don't know how that
I
works
can
on
do
guitar.
that. Yeah.
This
I
chord.
can do that. I can totally.
We
do
should. You know what? When we go to that cabin, bring your guitar.
I've got one up there.
Yeah.
It's all good.
We keep it there.
Oh, right. It's your place.
Yep. Yep.
That cabin.
We'll be there soon.
But we really
Definitely.
should, because that would be really fun. And also, like, I need videos of me singing, because I don't just sit in this. This is the like DIY recording studio that my mom and her boyfriend made. And it's like
Wow.
really nice. There's pianos over here, a ukulele, all of these guitars, the recording stuff, the microphone,
Yeah.
which I
that's
don't even know if
awesome.
it's actually working or if it's just here for the aesthetic.
No, I'm pretty sure it's working. You sound great.
You sound fabulous.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's like, it's a really cool room. And oh my God, I totally forgot why I was hyping up the room. But
You singing.
oh yeah, I don't record videos of me singing because I don't know how to play the piano or how to play the guitar. And any video of me that exists, I've just learned that part for the Instagram.
For the video.
TikTok
the 10 seconds,
length.
the 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I stopped and I don't remember how to play it, because I learned it for that moment. And so
Yes, I've done that too.
yeah, and I don't know how to, like, I don't want to record a cover with a karaoke YouTube video on in the background. Not that you can't. I just, for some reason, am very, like, it can't be done that way for
Yeah,
no
no,
reason.
I
It just
agree. We should put together the track together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was just a
Totally.
side
You
conversation.
heard it here first.
That could have happened through text.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like in person. Well, it's not in person. We're on Zoom, but like, I
Yeah.
like actually talking through
Vocal
ideas. On
collaboration.
text, dude, on text, I see the 3 dots forming and I stop typing. I'm like, okay, you're gonna talk, I'm gonna stop.
I do that too. And then
Or,
when the
like-
other person does it, I'm like, what were they going to say? I shouldn't have started typing.
I know, and you're like, stupid, I ruined it.
I messed it up.
Are you in your bedroom, Jacob?
Yeah, I am.
And you have 2 guitars hanging on the wall, right?
Yeah, this is my over there, that's my Epiphone SG.
One's an electric and one's an acoustic.
Yeah, this one's electric, that one's acoustic, and I've got another acoustic one.
How come some acoustic guitars can plug into an amp and others?
Some are hybrids and some are not.
Oh.
So there's like
I-
a pickup inside the acoustic guitar that like has a battery and you can.
But it's the same chords, right? You can take a
Yeah.
song and play it on electric and on acoustic. I don't want to I don't want that to be a dumb question. And I have
No,
been
it's
told
not a
there's
dumb
no such
question.
thing as a dumb question.
It's not a
But
dumb question at all.
I wasn't sure because I feel like when I watch people play electric guitar, they're always like really close to the middle. And
Yeah,
you don't
'cause
see someone really close to the middle on an acoustic guitar.
I do it.
He
I'm
does.
playing in the middle all the time.
Do you
but-
strum on the thing? Because like when I play ukulele, I don't do it over the circle. I do it like on the side for some
Oh
reason.
no! I do it over the hole.
Oh,
I strum over the hole.
right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's the same tuning, electric and acoustic.
Mm.
Actually, that guitar back there has a different tuning than this one.
For different
and
songs.
Yeah, exactly. I just picked that one up for like a really specific song, and then I put it back on the wall, and then I'm.
Oh,
back.
you mean like it has one of those like?
No, he's like tuned it to a specific like.
Wait, there are different tunes. I thought a guitar was just in tune or out of tune. I didn't. Oh, is that a cat?
Yeah, it is. That's
That's Moki.
my cat.
Moki.
Yeah.
Hi, Moki. Moki.
Moki's been making guest appearances on the podcast this entire episode, just like walking behind Jacob.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been great.
I have not seen that.
She's making noise for me to let her out of the room, but I'm gonna try to keep her in here for the rest of the podcast. See what she
Oh,
does.
she's a black cat.
Yeah. Well, actually, technically, she's sable. which is like
Disabled. What's
no,
wrong?
not disabled. So there is a type of like there's like a color. It's not even a color. It's like how there's blonde and brunette. There's also sable, and it's like a really dark brown, and in the light it like has
Logan.
highlights, and sometimes it's like reddish. Anyway, my cat is not disabled.
I was like, what's wrong with her? Is she okay?
Oh my gosh, is she okay?
She's totally fine.
Why did I do that?
She is a young little. She just turned 3 in April.
Yeah.
Oh, my cat just turned 3. She's a calico. I think that's the kind.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
she's a psycho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
She's so mean.
What's
So
her
I
name?
kick her. No, I don't kick her. That's not funny. that's not funny. That's the kind of joke that like I say with my family, but you cannot put that out into the world that you are hurting animals. So let the record show that I love Napoleon and I've never ever laid a hand on her, even though she bit my face and I have it on camera.
So you named your cat Napoleon?
We did. She is Napoleon. There are ice cream bars that are 3 different colors and they're called
Neapolitan?
Neapolitan. And my twin sister, Grace, thought they were called Napoleons. And so this calico, this multicolored calico showed up in our garden like this big. And we were like trying to find its owner. And I think it was just dropped off by the parent, like, you have her. I don't know. And I don't know. It's sad. We like put posters everywhere. We took her to the vet. She had like FIV. We were like, this poor thing. Like we kept her in our house so that she wouldn't get like eaten by a coyote or something.
No.
And we let her stay in the house for like 6 months away from our other cat so that if she had like spreadable FIV, it wouldn't go to our cat, but it was like a genetic one and it didn't end up being there or something like that. And nobody claimed her, so we kept her. And she is so fat now. She's really cute when she was tiny. She's still cute now, but she's just large.
Yeah.
She a big girl.
She's not even fat. She's just like long.
Yeah, my
like,
cat's
they're
getting big.
They're just so cute when they're so tiny. And they're like climbing up you. And now you're lifting them and you're like, ugh.
You gotta support them.
Yeah. Cats are great though. Like I know that people are like, who would you pick, dog or cat? I don't know. I'm not good at picking. I love them both, but cats are just so independent and like they take care of themselves. And when they step on your back, it's like a massage.
Making those biscuits.
And they'll either cuddle with you or they'll just be like, don't touch me. It's not my time. And like, I relate to that, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
I'm the same. Whereas like dogs, you have to like walk them and like walk them like 3 times a day if you're
so much attention.
Yeah.
Like having a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like having a child, but they're so cute and I miss my doggy. So I just think dog and cats equal.
Yep.
Fish is somewhere down here.
Pets are great. Pets are great.
The worst.
You can't cuddle a fish, okay?
You can if you try hard enough.
Yeah, kill it. You'll take it out and you're like, that'll Jacob's face.
Yeah, that is.
Or this girl that I knew had a sugar glider. And those things are terrifying. They jump around. You lose them because those little rodents like run and hide. And then you're looking around the room and all you see is like Batman like across the room.
That's awesome.
No.
That's a security system right there.
They are so painful. They have like the little tiny like fangs and
that's a security system right there.
That's cool. I feel like
not
I'd
if
own
you
bats
love me.
if I could.
If you love me, you should not be biting me. The thing was, whatever. Maybe I'm just not like destined to have a sugar glider. Like it's just not for.
Showing her asshole. To
Beautiful
the
view.
whole audience.
Hey, she's just doing her thing. Oh, look at that pose. Yeah. She's like, I know my angles. This is my best side. She's so shiny. So you were saying something and I said disabled, but what? So that's the color black is sable? That's what you're saying?
Sable, yeah. And then in the sun, she's like red.
Yeah, kind of like reddish brown.
That's so beautiful. I've never seen that before.
Moki's gorgeous. Moki's a superstar.
Have you
I
ever
keep trying to get Jacob to make a Moki TikTok account.
Does she hug you? No. Have you ever put her on a leash, like a collar and a leash?
No.
Some people in the city have done that. They like walked their cat.
It's a little insane.
I know. It's
No,
weird.
I think that's let them see the world. My cats can't because she really has one side. She's like, this is what the world has to see. She's beautiful. She's real.
Yeah.
Her eyes, they're yellow.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yep. She's special.
So, Jacob, while you deal with your cat on shoulders, do you want me to talk about the movies that are coming out this week? Maybe give you a second?
Oh, yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Great. So, weekly segment that I've actually managed to keep going. I'm very proud of this. There's some movies coming out this week, and we'd like to promote some of them because we like promoting different artists.
Yeah.
First up, we have, of course, the movie that we've been talking about a lot, Black Widow.
Oh, small indie. Small indie.
Super small indie film. But the reason that we like talking about it and like promoting it is it is the first in a while female-directed, female-led superhero movie. And so we want more of those. We want more stories in genres that we love being told by unique perspectives. So supporting that, if for no other reason than to see more superhero movies directed by women.
Or more movies in general directed by women.
Love that.
Yeah.
Along with that, I want to promote Fear Street Part 2, 1978. I watched Fear Street Part 1, which I'll talk a little bit more about in content we've consumed. But Part 2 comes out this week. Also a female director. The female director of Black Widow is directed by Kate Shortland, who is a director that I have not gotten to see a lot of, so I'm excited to see her doing her thing. And Fear Street Part 2 is directed by Lee Janik, who also directed Part 1 and is also directing Part 3. So those two movies seem excited. My mom would be upset with me if I also didn't promote The Loneliest Whale. It's a new documentary about the only whale in the world. Yeah, I'm just letting Moki do her thing. It's about the only whale in the world that has its song at 52 megahertz in terms of like sound range, whatever you call that, pitch, I think is the right word. But it's the only whale in existence, at least now, that has its song at that megahertz.
It's
so,
song?
Yeah.
Like sound?
Yeah, it is
You're talking about
actively
a
trying to...
frequency.
Yeah, it's frequency. It's trying to communicate with other whales, but no other whale has that same frequency. So it's it's been nicknamed the loneliest whale because it's basically just like calling out to the ether. So there's a documentary about a group of people who like spend, I think, like a year trying to find this whale and like locate where it is in the ocean. Because it's like, yeah, you can hear the 52 megahertz whale here, but it could be 13,000 miles away. And we don't know exactly where it is. And it's constantly moving. So the ocean. The ocean is so much more interesting to me than space. I'm just saying.
Interesting?
Yeah.
Terrifying.
I find the ocean fascinating. But there are a bunch of movies coming out this week, a lot less than last week, so I should be able to fit all of them in the description rather than having to use the comments. So yeah, check the description for info about all the movies coming out this week. Did you guys see anything in the trailers that looked interesting to you? I know that Black Widow is kind of the thing that's dominating headlines this week.
It is. It got like 13.4 million something on Thursday.
Dollars
or tickets. Look, I didn't read the article. I just saw the headline. I saw the number. This is America. I read the headline. No, I there's that animated movie that's like coming out from Disney. That's a big deal, right? The one that sound that's like Silencio Bruno. You know?
Oh yeah.
It's Luca. No, it's Luca. We're talking about Luca.
It's Luca.
Oh, I didn't know Silencio Bruno was from Luca. I thought it was from
Yeah, because you didn't fucking watch it when I told you to.
No,
watch
I haven't.
the movie.
I'm sorry.
What movie?
Luca.
Oh, you told him to go see it?
Yeah.
Is it out?
It's been out for a little
It's on
while.
Disney Plus, yeah.
Never mind, guys.
Gotta keep up, Susanna.
I know.
You're too busy watching Loki.
Yes, I am too busy watching Loki.
Good.
So, like, I don't know what's going on and what is going to happen next. Like, you know how WandaVision, you were just like, what is going on?
Oh, I'm putting it together.
This show, I'm just like, Like at least WandaVision, I was like, what is going on? But like, it's a mystery. I'm watching Loki and I'm like, what are they talking about?
Let me ask you a question that is gonna possibly sound rude, but I can ask you because we're friends. How much of Loki are you watching, and how much of it are you texting other people during?
How dare you? How dare you?
You went there.
Okay, excuse me, but I am not on my phone when I am watching Loki. Okay?
Oh.
Excuse me. I am mad. Marvel is my life. When Stan Lee passed away, my family texted me to see if I was doing okay.
I remember.
All right?
Yeah.
No. It's just for a moment there. It sounded like,
you know what it is? There's just so much that like there's a lot of exposition that like it'll make sense at the end when you go back. So like, for example, my questions, Logan, I'm not even gonna look at you, I'm just gonna look at Jacob. So my questions are like, you know, the clock thing that's played by Tara Strong?
Yeah, Miss Minutes.
Like, is she like a Jarvis? Is she like a Janet from The Good Place? Like, what?
She's gonna be more important than she seems, I think.
Tara Strong is in the MCU. Like, that's crazy. Is like, I just have so many questions.
Spoilers!
Let's be careful.
This is
about
a spoiler-free Packcast. If you're gonna put spoilers, you gotta say spoiler alert.
Okay, just bleep it out.
Oh no, I'm gonna cut that. I'm actually
no, bleep it out.
Just bleep it out.
Bleep it out.
I'm gonna cut to just Jacob's reaction while Susanna's talking.
I want you to bleep it out and bleep this coming up, okay? I'm not gonna make you go through that, Logan. It's okay. He's waiting to watch it with his mom.
I started it with my mom today.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, you haven't started watching it at all?
No, we watched episode 1 together.
Oh.
Today.
I don't think.
You can't. No, you spoiled something.
Yeah, but
there was some spoilers.
Logan, it's not your time. Jacob, I don't know if I really said anything that's going to like make any sense to him out of context.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right? Like he wasn't.
I mean, you kind of said that. So that's a little bit of a spoiler, just a tiny one.
See, this is what I was afraid of. Why'd you have to go and spoil it for me?
I see what you're saying now, but Logan, I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm on my phone the entire time when I'm watching it.
But Logan, fuck you! You made an asshole comment, so I spoiled it for you.
I'm so sorry. I thought we were all watching it.
We all gotta get on the same page here. We're 2021. There's no more catch up, okay? Spoilers are out in the open from here on out. If you are not up with the times, like for example, today is episode 5, or like next week episode 6. Okay, not episode 1, not episode 2. We're up to 6.
The episode's been out for 3 days.
Personally,
3 days.
Personally, I think unless with Twitter, it's one thing. With Twitter, it's like, okay, 7 days is max you get. But if I'm talking to somebody about like a TV show, like either the season has to be over or we have to be a month removed.
Okay,
my
but
rule.
Did you bring up Loki or did Jacob bring up Loki?
I brought up Loki.
So if you brought it up.
Because I knew the two of you were watching it and you would enjoy talking about it.
Please stop screaming. Please stop screaming. We are wearing headphones. Thank you, sir. Excuse me, but I know it was wrong for me to assume. But because you brought it up, I did make an ass out of you and me, but you as well.
Well,
because you first made an ass out of yourself. Jacob's a witness. No, for real, I'm so sorry. I don't like people spoil stuff. I've been so careful about like going on TikTok after the episodes come out. Like I don't, because I watch them late. I don't watch them when they come out. I have to watch because it comes out at like 3 a.m.
I know, but you watch them like later that day.
Oh yeah, I watch them before the weekend because I work Fridays and Saturdays. Like
I'm the guy that knows he's always late on TV. So if I get spoiled, I'm not like mad about it. I'm normally just like, okay, well, I'm still gonna watch it. But I'm not surprised about that.
I won't say anything about Black Widow or anything. I feel so bad. Like that was an awful thing that I just did. If that had happened to me for like Endgame, I'm not even joking. I would have murdered the person standing in front of me. I am joking. But like seriously, like that would have been, come on. You know what's really sad about Endgame? Can we just talk about this for a second?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
No.
I'm not gonna, yeah, Jacob's like, it's been 3 years or 2 or
3
to 19 to 8, 19 to 19. Anyway, I saw, so we'll talk to you about Infinity War first. I saw Infinity War at 8 a.m. showing in a movie theater because I couldn't go opening night, and I couldn't go, like it came out on a Thursday morning, like 12 a.m.
It was like a midnight release.
Yeah, so people saw it all day Thursday, and then it was like the beginning of Culture Shock weekend, and like I went out on Friday night, and then Saturday morning I saw it was an 8 a.m. showing or 8:30, and the theater was like empty. Obviously, who's gonna go see a movie at 8 a.m. as big as Infinity War? But I needed to see it early.
Sure.
Then Endgame comes out.
That's what
a year later. It's also around the end of the school year.
Time. Yeah.
I went with a whole group of friends. Nobody in that group was a Marvel fan. And I'm sitting there. I'm the only person screaming. The movie theater is like, it's full.
Roaring.
Everybody resembles the people that I'm with. Nobody cares. So I'm there screaming. I'm like, oh, nobody is on my level. And then I watch all of these videos of like audience reactions of Endgame. And I'm just like, why couldn't I have been there?
Yeah.
It makes me really sad, honestly, to see those videos and just be like, my friends did not give a fuck.
It might be kind of cool in the future to just like, if movie theaters, especially with like big blockbusters like that, of like, this is a movie 10 years in the making, to have the like, we're going to do a fan showing and we're going to do a I want to see the movie showing. And the fan showing is like, be prepared. People are going to scream. People are going to like yell and like shout references and do their crazy stuff, and the I just want to see the movie people will be over here and they'll be quiet and they'll enjoy their movie.
Yeah, I mean, the world of seeing a movie in the theater is changing, so they will have to make some sort of changes, but I don't know if they would do that. But like, my children are going to, if I procreate, my children are going to procreate, such a funny word,
adopt maybe
or adopt. My pets are going to be watching all of the Avengers movies. I'm not going to make them watch Hulk, but starting at Iron Man, maybe I'll throw in Fantastic Four because that's my childhood. Like,
okay, if you're not going to make them watch Hulk, you cannot make them watch Fantastic Four.
It's just like
Hulk,
Jessica Alba
was a better movie than Fantastic Four was.
I can't even argue because I've never seen
I didn't even
Hulk.
see Hulk.
Listen, Edward Norton was a good Bruce Banner. He just
I'm
didn't work
sure.
in the MCU.
Edward Norton never misses. He's an incredible performer.
It's just people say he's not the easiest to work with. I have never worked with the man. I cannot determine.
I don't know. That'd be really scary. If I ever do get the honor of working with him, I'll be extra nice. Yeah. But I'm sure it must be so frustrating to be an actor in Hollywood who has that reputation. Like Katherine Heigl, I just saw an interview where she was just like, you know, I know my worth. I know if somebody is being disrespectful to me, I am going to defend myself and not put myself in a position where I'm being walked over. And so I spoke and defended myself, or just spoke proudly and said, like, this is what I think my character deserves, or I don't know what the context of the scenario. And then she got blacklisted in Hollywood as being like a bossy, manipulative bitch. And like, I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe she is, maybe she's not. I don't know. But to get that title, especially because like, I don't want to play the woman card, but if you're an assertive woman, you can be called a bitch very quickly.
Well, especially in Hollywood, like, it's so much easier for women to get blacklisted than it is for men.
Just
men
for
can
like
get away with basically anything.
Just being assertive, you know, just saying like, I know my worth and I deserve to be spoken a certain way. Like, just saying that. And maybe that's what she said, because I think I've only, you know, again, I don't know Katherine Heigl. I've watched interviews where people talk about her and they say nice things, and she's an incredible performer. She has done drama. She has done romantic comedies. Like, I think she's awesome. She did Knocked Up. That's a comedy. She's in Knocked Up, right? And like The Ugly Truth. I think she is. The point is that like
she
she's
does
very
that type of movie.
yeah, she's so like anyway, what were we talking about? Endgame. I'm going to make my kids watch those movies. And then remember when Titanic came out again in 2012? And it was like everybody who didn't see it in 1997 got to see it. My kids are going to see Endgame at like the 20 or 30
anniversary
in the future. There will be screaming, and I will finally get to be in the audience with a bunch of people that I'm too old to be around.
I'm imagining, like, by the time we have kids, the amount of Marvel movies that we're going to have to catch them up on.
Oh my God.
Not like now it's up to like 2024, and we're going to have to like, we're going to be up to like 40, 45.
They'll be in like phase 11.
Yeah, it's going to be like, oh, you've got to watch Thor 6 before you watch Captain Marvel 4. Like, chronologically, based on the timeline.
But imagine if Kevin Feige retires.
He has to at some point.
Well, there's a woman, I think, that works right alongside him. Maybe she would take his...
Oh, they're going to keep going until they can't anymore.
I know, but like, that's like, imagine if he leaves and it's just like, and it was never the same.
We've seen it happen.
I know, that's why, like, we have seen it happen. I can't think of it on the top of my head.
Star Wars!
Oh, I don't know enough about that.
Listen, I have my opinions on the new 3 Star Wars films. J.J. Abrams has said, which is why I feel like I can say this as well, that if he had had a plan going into those 3 movies, they would have gone better. So I agree with him.
Leave it at that. Yeah.
That he probably should have had a plan.
Oh, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, actually.
That might have been smart.
I had a question about J.J. Abrams.
Which is?
Actually, I think I can ask it. His movies are always like sequels or prequels to stories that somebody else started, right? Like he doesn't write his own.
He does do that a lot.
Is that true? I don't know.
I'm gonna look now.
He did it with Star Trek. He did it with Star Wars.
He did another.
He made Lost. Lost was the first thing he was known for.
And Lost is good.
It is, right? I never saw it either.
Ooh,
I know.
It's good.
Oh, he did Super 8. He directed Super 8.
Okay.
Yeah, Super 8, I think, was J.J. Abrams, like...
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe he's just the kind of writer that takes already created content and, like, makes it. You know what somebody else said, too, about Star Wars?
Though.
Now he does. He's been doing that a lot lately.
He did it with, like, Men in Black, too. Mission Impossible.
Did he do Men in Black?
Oh, did he? Somebody said, too, though, about Star Wars is that the fans get really mad about, like, the prequels and the sequels. And then somebody said those movies were made for children.
Yeah.
And it's all of the adults that are like, come on. But, like, the children dig them. And I thought that was really interesting. You know? Like, you know, like when, you know what we also need more of? I saw somebody talk about this on a TikTok. How, like, when we were growing up, we had Harry Potter. Yeah. And we grew up with these kids. We need a movie that the kids, like, I don't think anything has happened like Harry Potter before, where, like, the kids grow up and we grow up with them. And the style changes from, like, kid movie to, like, we're adults now.
You're right. I don't think there's been anything like that.
There's been attempts. Hunger Games, Maze
Doesn't count. They were adults when they started.
They should, and Percy Jackson is supposed to start at, like, 11 years old, I think.
They're making a miniseries.
Really?
Yeah. Because Rick Riordan came out and was like, I won't watch the movies because they suck.
Oh. I guess they suck if you read the books.
That was right around the time that everyone was trying to do the Twilight thing. The, like, let's do love triangles with teenagers. And so a movie which was really about, like, an 11-year-old, like, growing up and finding who he was supposed to be became about a 16-year-old who wanted a girlfriend.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, it's just, they took, like, all the cool stuff from the book and got rid of it and then put a bunch of new stuff in that didn't really work. And it just...
I could see how that could upset diehard fans.
The writer of the novel.
I just thought that kid thing where, like, we don't have that thing where, like, we saw them as kids and now they're growing up. It's kind of happening with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
They started as kids.
And they're slowly growing with us.
They're slowly growing up, yeah.
It's just instead of a movie, it's a TV show. Yeah, I can see that.
I guess TV shows are the new movie, you know? Yeah. Like Well,
I mean, if
We
you're
saw The
planning to
Sopranos
do,
grow up.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're planning to do like multiples, then yeah. I think the only reason we felt like we were growing up with Harry Potter was because there were already 5 Harry Potter books when the first movie came out. It was like an already established they're gonna grow up thing. So
and they were smart about casting.
Yeah,
They
honestly,
like,
you'd have to look for the next young adult multi-novel series that
I
was
just
going to
don't
get
know
adapted to a movie.
they exist. It was like a genre at the time, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they exist, but I'm sure it's just less popular because, like,
The stakes
honestly,
are high. Like, the bar is high.
the bar is
Yeah.
super high and there's a lot to take up people's attention now. Like, I don't want to sound like an old crotchety man, but, like, TikTok takes a lot of people's attention.
If anything, you sound like a Gen Z kid. It's not an old man thing.
And then
I
there's
don't know,
like,
I feel like saying TikTok is taking over everyone's time is like old manish. I don't know.
No,
but then
it's
there's,
like, yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
No,
No, you're
talk
good.
about
You're the
it.
guest. We want to hear what you have to say.
Then there's Marvel, who took this idea of like a series, a TV series, and made each episode a movie based off of a different character, and then had
True.
them all come together, which is basically what comic books are. So like,
Yeah.
that's how it could work. And I think that in itself, like, imagine if DC like started over and they had like the Suicide Squad that's coming out, but they had the individual villain movies, and
Yep.
then we see all of the villains come together and then become heroes in that movie.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Totally.
that would be so cool, because the villains in DC, look, I love DC. I was raised on those Justice League shows and like Teen Titans.
Yeah.
I love them. My favorite Batman, there are so many Batmans. My favorite Batman is Kevin Conroy, who
Conroy.
does the voice, because it's perfect. And no live action Batman, in my opinion, has measured up to the animated one. They're all
That's
great.
fair.
Well, yeah, because Kevin Conroy is never trying to be Batman. He's
I
just
don't like
a
the
guy.
I don't
Yeah,
like
he's
the
just like,
voice thing.
I'm just going to talk with a slightly lower voice and hold authority.
Because he had the billionaire,
Bruce
I don't know
Wayne.
if Batman was a playboy, but
Still
that
good, yeah.
like
Sure,
voice,
he can be.
and then had the like, I will beat the hell out of you, or whatever voice.
Because there's ways to change your voice without like graveling and like.
I don't know if it was the same. It might have just been the same voice. Even so, I loved DC's shows,
Sure.
but their villains were cool.
Mhm.
Like, their women villains. I liked I liked Poison Ivy. I liked, Harley Quinn. I loved
They
there
each
was
have
a
their
woman.
thing, you know?
There was a woman called Sapphire in Justice League, and I don't know if she was like a Green Lantern kind of villain, but she wore all pink, and she had like an English accent, and she had long, beautiful brown, black hair with like a thing on her forehead that shot out a laser.
Yeah, I mean, while we're talking about, things that we liked to watch, why don't we talk about some things that we have been watching to
I love
round out
that.
this podcast? Ah,
Look at that transition, Jacob.
Jacob's
Thank
like, I
you.
work here.
Thank you.
I showed
yeah.
up late, but I still know how to do my job.
Employee of the month. Anyway.
You don't get employee of the month for showing up late.
What are you consuming, Jacob, before Susanna roasts you again?
Listen
Oh,
here. I'm still watching Dave, still watching Loki.
Oh, Dave.
How is
yeah,
Dave season
Dave,
2?
Dave season 2 is good. I like Dave.
Nice.
It's funny. It's a funny show. I'd love to make a show like that.
Is that your kind of like, that's your genre? Like, if you could write a show, like, you didn't take any screenwriting classes.
No,
so
I
like,
didn't.
what is your
Jacob-
preferred
Jacob
genre?
is not really the writer of our little trio.
Yeah, but he just said
No.
if he could write a show. So like, if you could, that's the content that you would watch?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
or you want to be in that kind of show?
I'd love to be in that kind of show.
Oh,
I'd
to
love
be
to
in
make
it.
that
to
kind
be
of
in it.
show, to be in it.
I
I
understand. Well,
just
you know,
like being a part of it.
I love teen dramas like so much. Like, I grew up on Gilmore Girls and like One Tree Hill, like those. And then I took a writing for television class in college, and my professor really wanted us to write like the next Breaking Bad or like The Wire. And I came in with like a teen drama that I loved. And it was about a mother who like intentionally releases a sex tape so that her family could grow up in this limelight like Kim Kardashian. Like, she was willing
sure.
to sacrifice herself and be
To be a
labeled
porn
as like a
star.
bad mother
Mhm.
so that her family could grow up in riches. And it
Nice.
was going to have like this teen drama aspect to it, because the kids are involved and the parents are going to have their own story, because like the mother is like painted as the villain for doing this, but really she's like trying to financially support her family. And like we're looking at the father who is like actually, you know, like the villain, whatever.
That's like Breaking Bad. That's the assignment.
And I came in and I was so proud, and I presented the part of the, like, you know, the episodes, and the kids parts were in it, the teenagers, and I was so happy. And they read it, and the professor said I actually had to hold back from laughing. And I literally, like, my face dropped because—
Wait, in a good way or bad way?
No, I was so upset because there were teen parts of it, and their storyline was very much like, you know, you have to start somewhere in the beginning of the pilot and see where their lives are at. And so they were dealing with like relationship problems. I was only 10 episodes in, like 10 minutes in. There were going to be payoffs later, but it was just the setup to their characters. And I know I wrote a good beginning. I know I wrote a good, like the first 5 minutes of the show was like, you know, everyone's starting in different places and you don't know who these people are. And then a minute in and you see how they all are connected. Like, it was so cool. And then he said that and laughed at me. And I actually don't know if I finished the pilot for the class.
I want to read that pilot. Susanna, what shows have you been watching?
What shows have I been watching?
Or music you've been listening to? What do you have that you've been like experiencing this past week?
So the show that I like, again, love teen dramas. One Tree Hill that came out in like 2003. The 3 women from that show have put out a podcast where they are rewatching the show, and every week they're submitting, or they're putting a podcast out on Spotify, on iHeartRadio. And they're 3 episodes in, but their perspective is so interesting because the show is like, you know, they were teenagers when they started. So all the producers are telling them different things. When they get cast, they have to, you know, move from wherever they were all the way to like North Carolina to live when they're like 19, 18, 20, 21. And they have to deal with like, it's the early 2000s. So they're cast in like a teen drama. And then they were competing with like the OC. So the show had to be like sexual now. And so it's like the women are dealing with like the sexual things that happened on sets in the early 2000s. So it's really interesting to hear their perspectives, and they're very respectful. They're not name dropping, but like, it's cool to like have a show that you really love and then get to listen to their experience filming. So I'm listening to that. It's called Drama Queens. And then my favorite show, Scrubs. That show has had a podcast for over a year now, also on iHeartRadio, and they also do a rewatch. So I listen to that. So yeah, podcasts. And then I haven't started any new shows. It's just I watched Inside, and I've been rewatching all of Bo's specials because him, John Mulaney, George Carlin, my favorite comedians.
What's your favorite old Bo song?
Ooh.
Mine is My Whole Family.
That's a great one. I remember the first time I heard Boyo, I was a child. And
Boyo was pretty
like
good.
I didn't not like it. It's just I was at the age where like we would watch a movie with my parents, and like it was like there would be like a topless scene, and I'd be like, oh my God, my dad is staring at a woman's boobs in front of my mom. So like sexual things made me uncomfortable. And he literally has a song, like a lyric in his song that's like, push your titties, make a titty Venn diagram. And I remember being like, oh, boobs. So like his content used to make me uncomfortable, and I'd be like, I don't like it. But I liked Obo.
Cute.
But I don't know if that's my favorite.
I also like High School Party and Ironic.
From Bob's perspective, it's pretty good.
Yes, that's obviously a great one. Like Left Brain, Right Brain. Oh, okay, let me seriously think. I'm sorry. Rant is a great one. That's a great one. And I love the finale of What and Make Happy. Both of those songs.
Both of them.
Really like We Think We Know You. I remember hearing that and being like, and then
I don't think that I can handle this right now.
Yeah, like, oh, what is that line? Laugh at the skinny kid who is like, what does he say? Trying to give you what he can't give himself. I remember watching that and just being like, and people, my God, I have so many things. Anyway, love that. Love Bow. And Loki. And that's it. I watched the old shows over at Gilmore Girls, One Tree Hill. I've been rewatching those because they warmed my heart.
Love that.
Yeah.
Right.
Logan?
What have you guys been watching?
I started Lisey's Story on Apple TV Plus, which is a new Stephen King series. Started that with my mom. Sorry, Jacob. She's a Stephen King fan. I had to.
You guys are gonna watch it together?
Jacob wanted to watch it with me, but
I'll watch it with you.
Ted Lasso, I
That'll be our
finished
show.
for the second time.
Oh, you've seen
It's
it.
incredible.
Have you seen Ted Lasso?
We are a Ted Lasso fan club here.
I love Ted Lasso.
We have much to discuss. We'll do that after the podcast.
Okay.
In addition to that, Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber just dropped a new song called Stay, which is very good. I like it a lot. And I started the new Dimension 20 Dropout TV series, Misfits and Magic, which is a like Harry Potter RPG game. They're doing some really cool stuff. Lou Wilson, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Erica Ishii, and Danielle Johnson.
Wow, good for you.
And the DM's name is... I'm so sorry. I should have had this part prepared.
Oh, imagine if me and Jacob were just like, oh God, get it together. You should have been more prepared.
Get it together, man. The DM's name is Abria Iyengar, and she's great.
That's a beautiful name.
I know, right? I'm playing Apex Legends. I started a new game called Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, which is a lot of fun. And then watching more Formula One with Jacob. That's what I'm doing. Susanna, you had a thought?
What?
I did. Have you guys seen the trailer for What If?
No. I've heard it looks really good, though. I did see another good trailer, though, after you talk about What If for a second.
Just watch the trailer. That's all I'm going to say. I'm so interested. I don't even want to like tell you what it's about because I don't know what it's about, but like the concept of the trailer, just watch it.
It's like,
and put me in a group chat.
Captain America was a woman.
Yeah, but like
it's really cool. It's just, and it's like animated, so like all of their voices are still there. So like Chadwick Boseman is playing Black Panther.
Rest in peace to a legend.
Yeah.
I would say also, in addition to the trailer for What If, check out the trailer for Queen Pins. It's the director of The Way, Way Back with Kristen Bell about two women who start a coupon like ring where they're making fake coupons for people to scam companies. It looks really good based on a true story. That looks super cool. That's all the content that I've consumed this week and all the content I can recommend for the next week.
Dope.
Susanna, thank you so much for being a part of our podcast.
Yay! Thank you for having me. I'll come back.
It's been an absolute pleasure. We're so excited for more rekindling and more stuff to come. We'll be making announcements about that very soon. But until then, keep your eye on our Instagram and our YouTube. As always, my name has been Logan Riley Bruner.
I'm Jacob Wade.
I'm Suzanna Scorcia.
And we will talk to you soon.